All right, this video is to show you what I want you to do for your, let's see, this will be your 4th sketchbook assignment, but it'll only be your 2nd artwork that you've put in, because our 1st sketchbook assignment was to number the quarter. Oh, and this is my fake little sketchbook, little pretend example sketchbook. I had you number in the corners and do the table of contents. That was number 1. Number 2 was this circles in pen. Circles in pen with pencil design artwork that you did. And then the 3rd assignment was to learn how to turn this in on canvas. So this is a 4th assignment, but only the 2nd artwork, just so you aren't confused. So this was my plan. This is my idea. I printed out these just to show you. So you're not going to do any printing or anything. Just pretend that these are like a big sketchbook. I've got that one. I got that one as an example. And then I have this one because I feel like they all 3 represent sort of maybe a different issue you might encounter with my assignment. Okay? So my thought was on these circles, I asked you to leave some of them blank. Now, some of y'all, or I asked you to leave some shapes blank. Some of y'all interpreted that as leaving like some little bitty shapes and maybe not like a full circle, which is fine. But in my mind, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if for y'all's next assignment, I had you choose one of these circles and cut it out. Now, you're going to have to be very careful with your craftsmanship. That means like the way that you handle this. If you have an X-Acto knife at home, great. That's awesome. That would be wonderful because you can carefully cut, without damaging or whatever. But sometimes we don't have these. If you don't, you can use scissors. And you can do the old-fashioned thing where you like take a piece of the scissors and you like punch a hole in the middle of something that you want to do, and then you kind of cut it this way and cut it that way, and then you kind of cut it around. It's kind of difficult, but it's doable. Or you can put whatever you trace. Let's say you used a cup or whatever. You put that cup right there, and then you take a pen. It doesn't work with a pencil. You gotta have a pen. Should have one ready. Hang on. Okay, here's one. So you take a pen and pretend I have my cup right there. I would trace over and over and over, just kind of not pressing down like a crazy person, but it's more about like just doing it over and over and over. And finally, it will cut through the paper where you'll be able to tell that all of a sudden it just like cuts through the paper. It's kind of neat. Okay, so I want you to pick out one of your circles, and it needs to be a circle, not one of these kind of little fun, weird shapes. Pick out a whole circle. Well, maybe it could be a fun, weird shape. You decide. Take your shape and cut it out, whatever kind of way you do. It doesn't have to be just one. You could do a couple if you want, but the requirement is at least one. All right? And after you cut it out, and let me just say this. If you are using an X-Acto knife or something, you need to put something underneath this page. I put a magazine under mine, something that it doesn't matter that you're cutting into it as well, because you don't want to cut into the pages that are underneath on your sketchbook, right? So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. Oh, I did it. Look at that. Boop. So I just cut this out, and look what it leaves, this little window, which I'm like really excited about. If you want, you can trace that with a pen onto this paper, and then you can cut that one out. You can do it 2 or 3 times if you want, or you can just leave it just like that. And if you cut this out in a nice way, maybe you could use this to glue and make some artwork here. But my plan is that this right here that's showing is going to be like crazy, colorful, mix match, like a painting or artwork or something colorful just went and like threw up. So maybe it's not even all that crazy and pretty right here. Maybe you just go wild on this page, but then when it shows through here, it looks really cool. Or maybe you deliberately do a design that kind of fits in there. I just kind of want to see how are y'all going to treat that window and what you're going to do with it. Like I said, you can use this for the artwork on the page if you want to kind of add to it. Or if you had to cut it out like with scissors and it didn't come out in a perfect circle, you could take those pieces and glue them together to form that circle again, or maybe you want them to be broken, let them glue far apart, you know, just kind of create artwork with it. This is kind of like a fun, abstract, anything goes page, but needs to be like colorful and crazy. Seems very controlled and very kind of like deliberate, and I kind of want the opposite to happen in this window. I want it to be like a okay. I like doing that. Okay, here's another example of maybe an issue you might have with this next assignment. Let's say you don't really have a whole empty circle or a shape or something that you're really wanting to let go of. You know, like this is really cool, this artwork right here. I would not really want to destroy any of this stuff because it's so neat and I love the way it looks. So maybe this could be an option for you. Take something, and I'm going to use something small because I'm using my pretend miniature sketchbook. So, you know, you would maybe need something a little bit bigger. Take something that will fit in like an empty space, like right here, and make you a new circle. And maybe that could be the window, the one that you're going to cut out. There we go. Kind of did a bad job, but you would do better, I know. Cut that out. Let that be your window. Maybe if you're like, well, it's just so small, it kind of feels weird being that little thing. Well, make it be repetitive. Add another one up here. And maybe you want to keep that one solid, or maybe you want to make that one a window too. I don't know. I don't know what you want. I just think this is a cool assignment where all y'all's are going to look different, and it's a really, really neat thing to have in the front of your sketchbook because it really just kind of, I don't know, opens the door for this, like, ooh, whoever looks at the sketchbook, they're gonna be like, this is cool. So I could cut out those if I want, and then have my little windows like that. Or maybe you have a sketchbook that you can't really fit anything. You filled it up so much with awesome stuff, and this awesome stuff I don't really want to cut out. I don't want to destroy it. I love it the way it is, Miss Cox. You didn't tell me I was gonna have to cut on this, and if I'd have known, I'd done different. Look, if that's you, leave it exactly how it is. Flip to the next page. And right here is where you can get you some new circles. And I would probably do them in pen or something colored maybe to make it look more finished. And it doesn't take long to just kind of trace another design or whatever of circles. And I'm not going to ask you to do like fill them up like you did on this page, but maybe just kind of create an interesting, real simple line design, and then choose one of these to cut out and do your window with, which would mean on the next page you'd have your crazy, I'm going insane, colorful, blah 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 art that would show through on a cool window like that. Okay, so that is your assignment. Your assignment is to, using the circles, either the ones you did last time, or make a little page of something new, cut it out, and let that window underneath look cool and kind of contrast whatever is happening on this page. But when you turn to that page, I want this page to be full of the craziness with the art just going nuts. Kind of like this table right here. Like, look, watch how cool this is. Let's get this thing down. This was that first one that I got, that example. Just kind of give you a visual. Like, look, this is a mess, right? But then when you have it like this, that's kind of a neat artwork right there. How this contrasts with that, right? It kind of highlights that little part. And then you're like, oh, that's cool. Okay, so that is your assignment. And I will not have you turn this in yet. I'll let you work on this today. And if you want to work on it over the weekend, you can do that too. And then maybe on Monday or Tuesday next week, we'll see. I'll put assignment in for you to actually turn it in on your Google Slides, okay? Bye-bye.